Hello and welcome back to Midweek Point and Click. How you doing, Steve? It's been a while. Steve? Oh,
Oh,
Steve's.
sorry. I was muted. I also got distracted because you were doubled because I forgot to mute the Twitch stream.
That'll do it.
So yeah, I had sudden problems right out of the gate.
No worries.
I'm good now.
That's all good. So I think we are at the finale. Without looking at any walkthroughs or anything like that, everything seems to be going to a head of Lamplight City. We're on episode 8. Essentially what's happened is we're on a case. I'll give you the chance to do the full recap, but the very quick summary is we're on the final case, which seems to indicate the same, motive, or at least the same guy as the very first scenario where we killed our partner, accidentally, of course. Welcome in, Tongs. Thanks for throwing the panties. Always appreciate that. Yeah, so Steve, how's your week been?
Not bad. Uneventful. What about yours?
Got back from New Zealand midweek and then
Yeah.
went to work for 2 days, and that was difficult, I must say. Getting back into
Yeah.
gear after a holiday, whew. But otherwise, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so nothing new to report. You didn't go out on a boat or any
No,
crazy
standard
shit?
though lunch where um yeah, the boss didn't apply me with as much alcohol as usual, but which is good because I did feel a bit sickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be just a small sickness you wouldn't normally notice, but yeah, for some reason the alcohol got on top of me a bit. But yeah, just so like you know, sort of feel like not overly drunk, but just a little bit ill.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Had that standard thing.
Nice.
Um, yeah, not much else.
Cool. Well, I've been continuing on the Star Trek Voyager front. I
I
finished an episode last night where Harry Kim fell in love with a hologram model and got real pissy at Tuvok for encroaching on his territory on
oh
the
yeah,
lady, which felt really strange, to be honest. I'm gonna just turn this music down a little bit. It didn't feel like Kim. He was acting like a teenager, so that's yeah, I think that was kind of a filler episode, if you will. Nothing really invented from that.
nah, I think it was touching where like with Tuvok talking to the lady. That's like some of the big ones, but I think that one has decent elements. Yeah, the Hurricane was probably that thing was hard to write because I identified with that, just the lovesick frustrations. But then, yeah, the way he expressed them is a little bit childlike, but it's hard to express them otherwise, like for a writer and an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like hard to do, but I liked the element of it. He's also pretty. I think his character's supposed to be younger than the actual actor, I think, portrays.
How old is Harry Kim meant to be, you reckon? Like, what, 20?
I think so, because it's like an ensign, so he's out of the academy, which is I think similar to a uni degree. I think it's 4 years, although.
Mm-hmm.
Us, that would make him about 22, and he's got a fiance, which is sometimes forgotten about.
Yeah, apparently in this
Because I was
episode he'd
supposed
forgot
to.
about her too. Yep.
Yeah, I think it was either Dad might have been doing a watch through when I was living with him through COVID, and yeah, he must have been doing it. And I think there was an episode where you would never think that because he acts like he's sexually inexperienced. And I mentioned that he's got a fiance back home, and Dad's just gone, "Wait, what? He has a fiance?" Because it is sort of forgotten about.
True. True. It is when you
Uh,
find out that it isn't a hologram after all. It's more of a catfish, if you will.
I think it's also like
The intent's there
that's
too.
one of the sort of dilemmas with Voyager that I kind of like is like because they're theoretically 70 years away from home, like you sort of do have to move on, but your significant other is still alive. So if you developed a new relationship, is it cheating, or do you just treat it like they passed away and you've got to move on after a period of mourning? Like, and that's real, yeah, kind of a real dilemma.
I actually never. Star Trek universe doesn't really take into the account of like relativity and stuff, does it? Like, If you're, I guess they're what, 400 million light years away or something like that. The Delta Quadrant's very far. Chances
Yeah,
are that Earth wouldn't even exist anymore, potentially.
I think the idea is that the warp bubbles, when they go warp speed, because also theory of relativity would prevent you from achieving the speed of light, let alone exceeding it.
I
But
guess I
the
mean more
theory
like
is,
time dilation, kind of, or is that the right term?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also because of, well, not time dilation, but also you go heavier the faster you go, or maybe the opposite. Yeah, the heavier. So you can never achieve it as well. Like as well as time dilation, there's also mass dilation. I don't know if that's probably not a term, but
Yeah, I get what
you
you
have
mean.
that. But the idea of the warp is that that we're not moving kinetically. It's like a magnetron, but with warping space. A magnetron, like a kind of like a bullet train where it's magnets pulling it along. It's that, but with warping space. But also, there's a warp bubble around them, so that they're not moving because they're not moving kinetically. They're not subject to the laws of relativity.
You know
That's
what?
the idea, I think.
You know what's really crazy about that though? That probably you shouldn't really think too hard in it. Um, the people that are currently living in the Delta Quadrant would experience that time relativity. So what they're experiencing might be different. Like if they got a massive telescope, for instance, and they zoomed in on
Yeah,
Earth, which is impossible, but let's just say that they did, that the time that light got to them, like shit's
yeah.
happened millions of years. So even if the Star Trek crew didn't experience that time, when they got to Delta Quadrant, those people might not be there unless they're living in tandem with the warp bubble time rather than the.
I think they're like, uh, if they like, well, I don't know how far they are away, but say they're 1,000 light years away. They're still living in the present, like there's still no relativity with that. It's just that if they were somehow to see Earth in a telescope, it'd be Earth 10,000 years in the past, basically.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh, it's a weird. It's kind of like trying to work out time travel in movies too. Anyway,
Yeah, that's what there's also, I don't know if you saw it, but one of the episodes of Babylon 5 that we've done on Flipback TV, there's a episode where one of the characters gets bent out of shape because there's a planet he needs access to, and one of his enemies, his rival antagonist, has this plant he needs for religious practices, and he's supposed to burn it as incense at the morning of a certain day that the light hits a certain mountain. And he's like, oh, it's. And then by the time he has it given to him, it's too late. And he's just like, oh, he's giving it to me because he knows it's too late to do the thing. And the captain goes, this, your planet is 7.2 light years away, right? And he goes, yes. And he goes, well, the light from that hit that mountain has been traveling through space to get here. And he goes, so in like a month or so, that light will hit. And he goes, it's been traveling a long way, but it's the light that would have hit the mountain. And he goes, was that good enough? And he goes, yeah, I think that'll do. And yeah,
all right. So it gives them a month just of leeway. That's
yeah,
cool. Yeah, cool. All right, good point, Tongs. All right,
yeah.
Steve, if you want
Oh,
to give us the rundown.
so you're already wrong about your 5 minute prediction, 15 minute prediction.
Yep.
The rundown. So I think we had a brief talk about this, but I'll wing the rest. I really don't remember some of the details, but the main strokes are we finished the previous case. I think it might have been unsuccessful. No, I know two have been unsuccessful.
I thought only one was the very first one. Everything else has been successful because we
Oh,
had
there might
to
have been one that we redid.
we
I don't
had to
know.
redo
I think it
because
might
of
be
a
two.
stupid bug. Well, not stupid bug. It was more they locked us out immediately,
Yeah.
which wasn't fair.
So my points are we've finished that case, and the developers have been. We've been asked to do a next case, and we've realised that a bunch of these murders have been done by the flower killer that has killed our partner. Okay,
Welcome in,
someone
Bailey,
might have
babe.
knowledge that we're not 15 minutes away from the end.
Oh, it's more
Um,
maybe because we're being gasbagged, and who knows? It doesn't start until we move our character. There you go.
okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember everything. Might take 15 minutes. Yes, but we found out it was the killer. But by doing so, our supervisor, the person's been giving us jobs. She's gotten in trouble with the department, so she's been fired.
Captain. Yep.
We did do a good decision because we did one we thought would backfire hugely, which is we stood up for her and to our own detriment, but ended up not being a detriment because the inspector saw through it and fired her anyway. So we get to be the good guy, even though we didn't help. And there's that. And then we've told our wife Adelaide about the ghost, despite the protest of the ghost. But he's really annoying. Like, not annoying. He's kind of not worth the. I just noticed the doors are a little bit wrong, and it's just suddenly broke my brain a little bit. It's just me with the one you're standing by, just slightly shorter than the one in the distance. Yeah, it's kind of a dickhead, just because I don't like the fact that he keeps us awake, and then it convinces us to get off the drugs, the soporifics, only for him to keep us awake, like do what he promised not to do. Like, he's kind of a real dickhead. And then we've been on the drink because of, as a substitute for the soporific, which we wouldn't need if he just let our character sleep.
I think we've stopped the drink now as well, right?
Yeah, so stop the drink because we've told Adelaide, so now.
So we're just
actually don't know
not
if he
wild
has. I think
turkey,
he has.
cold turkey. We're cold turkey
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you've just started Broken Sword. Excellent. We've beat that already. We've got some Broken Sword emotes in the chat. Yeah.
That one's already been done. Is that? No, it's not. That's not Broken Sword.
We got panties from Broken Sword 2, but there's Broken Sword 1. There you go. There they are. The soil tissue that you carry around forever. Very good game.
Show to test every single character in the game.
Yep. It's kind of like that contradiction where you go to every character and say, what is it this, Tongs? He goes, does this mean anything to you? Weird. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we are on the case. We have heaps of places to search now. Trying to hunt down this lily killer. Was there anything else, Steve? I think you covered it pretty much.
I forget the details of like why we're in this room. I remember this room being maybe a bit annoying. Like, we're struggling to get progress, maybe.
I think we're finding the differences between the different murders. So when we went through all the documents, which is in the case book, we went through all these documents for all the people that were killed, and it opened up all those places in the map, which is where we're going now. And one of them he worked here. I'm pretty sure let's just try and have a conversation. I'm pretty sure we exhausted it, but
leave him to his work for now.
Okay, cool. That's what I really like, is when you go to an area and talk to someone, you know that there's no more talking to do. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll go see the lady that got the haircut. Is it the same? No, it's not.
Mr. Fordham.
Different lady. They just got really horrible hair in this universe.
Probably best to leave her to her grieving right now.
Okay, excellent. Oh yeah, and we used our lemon juice note over the fire. Like Rincewind? Oh, well, that's on the list too. Discworld will be there at some point. I've been thinking, Steve, I know we usually do the spinny wheel at the end of when we beat a game to pick the next game. But there's one that's been hanging over my head for about 35 years. Probably not 35 years, but how do you feel about doing a game that I've never played, also known as Grim Fandango?
Yeah, that's probably my blind spot with LucasArts.
Sweet.
Point and clicks as well.
Settled then. We'll do Grim Fandango next time. Oh, hang on. Yep. I mean, we're definitely going to do that. Side note, Discworld is on Steam? Or are you talking about Grim Fandango? Because if Discworld's on Steam, I was going to get the GOG version when it came time, but... Oh, Grim? Okay, excellent. I think I own it already, but that's... Yeah. I've never played it. I only played a demo on, back in like 1995 or something like that.
I thought we finished it at one stage.
No, I've never. I don't even remember anything about it, to be honest, other than walking in a street outside.
I remember being stuck for ages. I actually did play it at one stage from an abandonware copy. But the thing I remember before that was being stuck for frickin' ages around the chef tavern. Like there's just a couple of areas you're constantly moving past that, and then I remember the dragon at the end.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Especially with the remaster because, you know, a bit of polish goes a long way, as we saw with the Monkey Island games. Prelude Babe, did you ever play the new Monkey Island? What was it called, Steve? Return to Monkey Island? Is that it? The one that was released, I think it was last year, I think.
The newest one? Yeah, Return to Monkey Island?
Yeah, so cool.
That was good. That exceeded my expectations for it, like tenfold.
Was not impressed. Wow. All right, let's go to the Ironworks. We haven't been there yet, I don't think. Oh, definitely have not.
Well, that doesn't look good.
We've had a meltdown in the foundry. Who's to blame? It's Rogers.
This place sure is big. I wonder if they actually make anything useful.
Oh, employee area. Probably would have missed that. Because usually each screen is one screen only.
Excuse me, sir. Are you in charge here?
Unfortunately. Who are you? This area isn't open to the public.
I'm Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator looking into the murder of one of your workers.
A private investigator, eh? And maybe you can help me out.
Okay.
I'll do what I can.
Feel free
but
to
I'll
talk
need to ask you some
if
questions,
you want.
Mr.
Mims. Sanford Mims. Go ahead, but make it snappy.
I think anyone would answer you in charge here with unfortunately.
You'd probably get fired for talking bad about your job. Hannibal Kirkland.
But it's not even like a regular employee complaining about their job. It's like a manager or supervisor going, "Oh fuck, I have to tell people what to do." And
Yeah. Is this the Costco brand? I think it is.
What can you tell me about
Hannibal
Hannibal
Kirkland.
Kirkland? A former employee here?
Listen, I've got a lot on my mind right now.
I understand, but it's important to my investigation that you tell me what you know about him.
I'm sure it is, but as you can see, I've got a lot to deal with right now.
Well, he's no help. Maybe you can figure out a way to help him help us.
Okay. Let's see.
How long have you been the foreman here?
Sometimes I think it's been too long. Things were so much easier before we got these machines. They keep saying they're supposed to improve our lives, but they've been nothing but trouble. I've already had 5 of my best men get mangled by some of them. And then there's these damn fools blowing things up. My hair wasn't this gray 5 years ago, you know. I swear, one of
That's
these
not
days,
from
I'm
stress.
just going to pack it all up and retire. Let someone else deal with these damn things.
You know, spring chicken.
What happened
I
to your
remember.
iron?
What's it look like? The damn thing went and got blown up.
Was it in disrepair?
Of course not. All my machinery is sound, checked and serviced regularly. This is the work of those goddamn Redites. I'm sure of it.
Redites.
I remember like I was doing, before I got full-time work, I was doing tutoring, and I've got the bad grey hair genetics where my first grey hair sprouted when I was like 14, and
Sorry, Steve. That's sad.
yeah, but I should have dyed my hair. Now it's too late because it's like I'm age appropriate, but at the time it's like I sort of never did anything with it. But yeah, I did tutoring, and at one stage we went on a camping trip, so I did it as like I went there as like a bonding thing, and I remember just towards the end, I think we're going home, and there was like a picnic on the way home, and they were like they sort of mentioned like, oh, it's probably gave you a hard time and stuff, but they point out my grey hair, thinking that was the cause for me going grey. It's like I got bad genes in that regards. It's not. That's not from them being little shits. Also, they were like much better than the other class of little shits I had were much worse.
What makes you certain the explosion was the Redites doing?
Take a look, boy. The whole mill got taken
Boy.
out. Even if this
Oh,
had
that's
been mechanical failure,
supposed to be
or
one
it
of these
wasn't,
characters.
the explosion would have been contained to a single part of the
Bolt
machine.
makes up a
This
different
couldn't
thing
have
for
been
each
anything
game.
other than sabotage.
Have you had problems
For me to
with the
speak
Redites
through.
before?
They've sent anonymous letters, but this is the first time they've actually carried out one of their threats.
You're absolutely sure this was sabotage then?
Yes. How many times have I got to tell you that? Listen, you said you were an investigator, right? So find out who did this to my machine.
Oh, wow.
If you do, I'll help you out with whatever else you wanted to ask me about.
Looks like we haven't got much of a choice. He seems pretty upset about his machine.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, we've got to find the Redites. Should we? We should probably do that first.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on
Don't
your
want to
way out.
close off the conversation. All right. Employee
Hey,
area.
that area is for workers only.
My apologies.
Guess we're not a worker here. All right. How about Burley Cause's apartment? There's a box of goodies.
I thought the housekeeping in my apartment was bad.
Yeah? May I help you, young man?
Hello, madam. My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I have some questions about your neighbor.
You mean my former neighbor?
Yes. In any case, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with some information.
Nah, I don't think so. The last person to ask me
Poison.
about him was that awful policeman. I don't want to have to go through that again.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but I can assure you I won't give you a hard time.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but actions speak louder than words.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Is there anything I can do for you then?
Well, since you asked, my layabout husband is out wasting our retirement fund with his drinking. Go find him and bring him back here. Then maybe we can talk.
Oh, wonderful. Now we're playing babysitter.
All these
If I
side
went
quests.
Silent Raven, it's not too far from here.
Yes, I know it.
Good. My husband's name is Kurt Williamson. You tell him his wife Ethel wants him home at once.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Williamson.
Okay. Let's try and break in.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
That's a very good knocking sound. Let's hear that again.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
Okay. Silent Raven. Oh, well, we know this place real well. Oh, this music reminds me of something.
Excuse me, are you Kurt Williamson?
That's right. Who are you?
Or
Miles
you.
Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
Oh, yeah? What is it you want from me?
That bartender. Your hands and hips.
Oh, you're going to
It's none of
offend
the fucking
the...
business.
Janeway did the hands and the hip thing and offended that alien race.
Ethel
Oh,
sent me to tell
yeah.
you she wants you to come home right away.
I should have known. I can't get away for more than a few hours before she's put the entire city on high alert. How much of my retirement fund did she waste on getting you to come down here?
I'm only doing this because I need some information.
The joke's on you, then. You can just go back and tell her I'll come home when I'm damn well ready.
Huh.
Why is it you're so averse to returning home?
I enjoy going out and having a good time. Is that so wrong?
Your wife told me she doesn't like you spending your money on drink.
What I spend my money on is none of her business, and even less of yours. What's this world coming to when a man can't even drink in peace without all his affairs shouted from the rooftops?
You know, this whole situation seems awfully familiar.
It does.
Listen, Mr. Williamson, I think I know what you're going through.
Oh, yeah?
My wife and I were having a rough patch. I wasn't being honest with her, and it nearly drove us apart.
But you managed to fix things.
Yes, I was fortunate. I did the right thing before it was too late.
And what did you do?
The top one
Yeah, he's
is...
gonna be so pissed at us if we do the first option.
It was simple. I just communicated honestly and openly with her. I told her what was wrong and how I was feeling. And you know what? she listened. Have you ever told Ethel why you like going out?
No. I assumed she wouldn't understand. I really wish she would come out with me, but I know she'd never agree.
How do you know? Have you actually talked to her about this?
Well, no.
Well, then maybe you should. If she knew you wanted company, she might just give it a try.
You know, I never thought of it like that. I'm going to go home right now and tell her. And if she refuses, well, at least I asked, right?
That's the spirit.
Thanks for the advice, friend. I really do appreciate it.
Right. That's when we learn that Ethel is a huge fan of Jaeger bombs, and
Not
that's her
bad, I have to
vice.
say, I'm impressed.
All right, let's go back. Oh, on my trip, Steve, I bought another bottle of whiskey from the duty free. It was a $350 bottle, reduced to $194.
That's pretty good.
I reckon.
Ah, Mr. Fordham.
It's Japanese.
Thank you so much for getting Kurt back home.
Don't mention it. Now, would you be willing to answer some questions?
Well, yes, of course.
Okay. Oh, she's got the cigarette, what do they call it? Cigarette lines?
That's what they are. I never heard of the term, but I sort of know
Tell me
what
what
they
you know
are.
about Burley Cause.
He and his wife hadn't been living next door very long, maybe 4 months or so. But I didn't talk to either of them very much. They weren't
That's
interested
the-
in being
yeah.
neighborly, I guess. It's a shame, really. Maybe if we had known one another better, something like this could have been prevented.
The judge on, or one of the judges on barbecue. What's that barbecue?
Oh,
Reality
Barbecue
show?
Showdown. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's
The
got
one-
those.
The one that has the voice like sandpaper.
Yeah. And if she were to kiss you, her mouth would look like an asshole if she puckered up for a kiss.
What happened on the day Mr. Cause was killed?
I was here at home doing my knitting as usual. All of a sudden, I heard a loud bang. It sounded like a gunshot. I went and knocked on Mrs. Caus's door, but there was no answer.
Mrs. Cause?
I did notice a smell, though, like flowers. Something seemed wrong, so I decided to report the incident to the police. Not long after that, an officer showed up and started asking questions. Awful man he was, so rude. I could report him, but I forgot his name. I think it started with a P.
Parsons?
Yes, that's him. He called for some more officers and they got into the apartment. That's when I found out Mr. Cause had been murdered.
No Christmas for you this year.
Where is Mrs. Cause now?
I don't know, with her mother maybe. That's usually how it goes.
You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
Afraid not, but there is one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Don't say I told you this, but, well, I used to hear the two of
Hello.
you through my wall. I tried ignoring it since it's really none of my business, but it became impossible.
What was it you heard?
I don't believe they have
Spit in my
a
mouth.
marriage.
Oh,
They'd
Jesus.
have awful fights a couple times a week.
What would they fight about?
Oh, all sorts of things. The worst one was when she discovered he was going to a brothel. I think he might have hit her on a few occasions, too.
Steve once again
Can't
lives
be
up to his
certain.
name as the
I hope
filth
you
bag
don't
pirate.
think me a horrible old gossip, but I thought you might like to know.
Not at all. I'm glad you told me. Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
You mean the serial killer who's been killing men in Chumley?
That's the one.
Nah, never heard of him.
What?
I'm just pulling your leg, Mr. Ford.
I like this one. She's got spirit.
Unfortunately, I only know what I've read in the Gazette, but it's scary to think some maniac is loose on the streets doing such terrible things. And with Kurt going out by himself for hours at a time, oh, I don't like it one bit.
How long have you been living here?
Well, Kurt and I moved in shortly after we were married, so it's been about 34 years.
Goodness, that's a long time to be living in one place.
Yes, well, the building may be a bit run down, and it gets colder than cold in the winter, but the rent has always been cheap. You can't really ask for much more than that.
I appreciate your time, Mrs. Williamson.
Have a good day, Mr. Fordham.
Hmm.
Call it a hunch, but I don't think she'll have anything new to say.
Okay. Let's knock on the door one more time and then check the trash one more time. Ooh, that
There doesn't
sound.
seem to be anyone at home. And I thought the housekeeping in my apartment was bad. Apartment 2A. This is the place.
Wish we had a lockpick.
The number is a bit faded. Is this 2B?
Yeah.
Or is it not 2B? That's the question.
Hey, what a great Shakespeare joke.
That is at least the more decent Hamlet reference that I've seen. Usually, Hamlet references are like cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Like,
Bridge.
Oh, you haven't seen Megalopolis?
I have not yet. No.
Oh, yeah.
I will one day. If I do like a Neil Breen watch-a-thon, that'll be in the list. Safe for only 25 men at once. Do not walk close together. Non-run, jump on trot. Or trot. Oh, yuck. I couldn't think of anything worse than sitting on the bridge like that. Hey, what's on your sando?
Excuse me.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction area.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. I'm looking into the murder of a man who used to work here.
Who? Bowditch?
That's right.
I got nothing to say about him, and neither do the rest of the boys.
I've only got a few questions. If you could just...
I've got nothing to say to you. You want to know more about Bowditch? Go talk to his little woman.
Where can I find her?
Good
Rue's
day, sir.
coffee house. She's the serving girl. Now get out of here. If something falls
Go and
on
get.
me, I'm not gonna take responsibility.
Short and to the point. I can respect that, even if it's extremely unhelpful.
Okay, coffee house it is.
Safe for only 25 men at once. I used to draw the line at 2.
Heyo.
I wonder if it would be any fun to tie yourself to that thing and go for a few spins.
Coffee house. Oh, that's his little woman right there. Jesus, look at the flies buzzing around the plates.
Not in much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they?
This is a little short bed. What is this?
Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies.
Hey, Toots.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I understand you were involved with Ennis Bowditch.
Was involved, yes. I haven't spoken to him in nearly 2 months.
Oh, were you not aware of his death then?
Ennis is dead?
Well, this is awkward.
Indeed. I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news.
How did it happen?
I'm afraid he was murdered.
Moided.
Murdered? By who? And why?
Those are exactly the questions I'm trying to answer myself.
Oh, I see. Are you a detective?
A private investigator, yes.
Well, I'll answer what I can. If it helps any, that is.
I'm certain it will.
She looks familiar. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to mention that it seems like she's based off someone popular.
What was your relationship with Mr. Bowditch like?
Oh, well, it was nice at first. He was a proper gentleman-like. But then something changed.
Oh?
It's like I told Ruby. I think he might have got hit on the head at work, because he seemed to be a completely different person. He'd get angry for no reason. He even... Well, that bit's not important. At first, I thought he was just going through some rough times, but after a while I realized he'd changed for the worse. So I broke things off. He wasn't too happy about it, but I wasn't going to stick with a man like that.
That's the pattern. The justice killer is killing men that beat women.
Okay, yeah.
Because every single one so far that we've investigated, there's been talk of that.
This friend of yours, Ruby.
Makes sense because I thought it was
Does she know
strange
an
that there was a
MP
second
named
reference
Percival
to
McDonough?
I'm not
domestic
sure.
abuse.
Ruby knows a lot of men.
Is that so?
Well, no, I don't mean.
Hello.
It's just. Oh, damn it all, me and my big mouth. She'll have my guts for garters now.
Love that
It's
term.
all right. No one's in trouble. But I think I'd like to speak
I
with
was thinking
Ruby.
it's weird.
Could you tell me where I can find her?
No. You see, she moves around quite a lot. Never in the same place for more than a night or two.
Right. I think she's given us a clear picture of what Ruby does for a living.
She's a hussy.
I'd be all for pressing this girl more until she cracks, but I like her. I think we'll be able to find Ruby without causing her more discomfort.
Well, thank you for the information. You've been very helpful.
Discomfiture. Sounds like a region of England.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? Is that some kind of pesticide?
No, it isn't. Never mind. You've been working here for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes. Coming up on 3 years. Been a real pleasure getting to know all the regulars. They've come to be sort of like a second family. By the way, whatever happened with you and your lady friend?
I beg your pardon?
Well, that nice lady you met in here a couple of times. Did it work out between the two of you?
Oh, that? No, that was strictly business.
Right. Well, if you see her, tell her I said hello.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
well, first things first, we're going to go hunt down Cupton and tell her that servant girl said hello. Oh, it sounds like Dexter. That's what it is, the music. Oop. Cupton's not home.
Therein lies Upton's boudoir. As a matter of respect, the less said the better, I think.
Okay. Been to the lamp depot. Let's go to the police station.
Chief Snelling,
Yes, Fordham?
have you got any information on the Redites?
The Redites? That ridiculous gang of troublemakers? Yes, I have some information. What's your interest in them?
A witness is refusing to speak with me unless I can figure out who sabotaged his iron mill.
I see. All I can offer is a list of names of known Redites along with their last known whereabouts. But I remind you that you only have until tomorrow afternoon before this indulgence expires, and I throw you in jail. This seems like a waste of time.
That's my decision to make.
Very well. I'll give you the list when you're ready to leave.
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes. Time is not on your side, Fordham.
Quiet, you.
Here you are. This is the most recent list of known Redites.
Okay.
This is a lot of names. If we're going to track down this saboteur, it might be best to retire to a more tranquil environment. Fancy a trip back to Upton's?
Sounds good to me. Clovis Sullivan. Suspect in 3 instances of sabotage. Okay, that sounds like the one we're after. Guy McKee, arrested on charges of attempted murder. Okay. Harris Wilson, suspected of 2 instances of sabotage. Okay, we've got more sabotage. Marcus Chapman, involved in a factory explosion. He's deceased though, but that would have been good. Peyton Ferguson, suspect of 6 instances of sabotage. Oh man, they're all sabotage. Except for attempted murder. Lucian Donaldson, suspect in 4 instances of sabotage. Alright.
I think when Dexter, the TV show, came out, that I would always think of Dexter's Laboratory first as well.
I never watched that
It's a-
cartoon.
Right. This should be a quiet enough spot to concentrate on finding that saboteur.
Tough it holds up, but I
Let's
remember
hope
really
Upton
liking it
doesn't
when I was
mind you
little.
turning her parlor into your own personal study.
I'm sure she'll have no objection. Now, let's have a look at that list.
Objection!
Okay.
I think we can rule out Mr. Sullivan as a suspect. He's Western Vespucci's problem now.
Oh, okay.
Unless Mr. McKee has escaped from prison, which I highly doubt, he's not our man. This might be who we're looking for, but it also might not be.
No harm in paying him a visit, except losing time in our other investigation.
If dead men could cause explosions, let's just say things would be a lot different. This clearly isn't the right suspect.
Gascon.
It's possible that this is who we're looking for, but without some way to be absolutely sure, we're in danger of wasting precious time.
I'm not usually the gambling type, but a 1 in 3 chance doesn't strike me as the best odds.
This might be who we're looking for, but it also might not be.
We could pay him a visit. Who knows? We might get lucky.
Damn. Let's save it here anyway. Who's Sabo? Okay, so if we go to the case book, I'm wondering if we can go to the factory and let him know of the people, and he might know some of them potentially. Oh, it has added 3 extra things. Let's... Oh, here it is.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Damn. Look like this.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
The who?
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 men over the past 4 months.
Is that right? Never heard of him.
He may have killed one of your men. Weren't the police here asking about it?
Oh, is that what that was all about? I know they came poking around here a while back, but I was busy dealing with other things.
It's nice to see the lines of communication here are wide open.
It's kind of weird that
I'll be
we're
going now.
potentially going to have to
Way out.
guess who the, like the 1 in 3 chance. It's weird. Maybe there's a way to narrow it down. Go to the House of Parliament. Oh yeah, that's right.
No time to waste with further conversation right now. You've got a killer to find. The former Percival McDonough, being a good politician.
Hang on. Hang on. Wasn't that one of the... Hang on. Let's go to Cupton's again. Oh, Peyton Ferguson. Not Ferguson McDonough. Okay. Oh, let's see. 6 instances, 4 instances, and 2 instances. Would you think that maybe... I mean, we're using just like guesswork here, but a person with 6 instances of sabotage is more likely to do it than the other 2?
That's really hard to say.
It is, but we're going to have to make a choice, I believe. Hang on, let's... Who was that 6th one? Just, we'll keep that in our mind. Peyton Ferguson. Okay, let's just keep that. Okay.
May I ask you a few
Oh,
questions?
cool. We can talk to him.
Of course! What would you like to know?
Alrighty then.
With all these promises of technological advancement, have the Redites given you any trouble?
Oh, those tech-fearing dolts. Yes, I'm sorry to say that we've gotten threats from them. They have yet to carry any out, which is unsurprising.
How so?
Groups like that are all bluster and no backbone.
I've seen some evidence to the contrary.
Is that right? Well, we've seen little beyond threatening letters, and I intend to make sure it stays that way.
Do you have any of these letters I might have a look at?
Yes, I have one. I'll give it to you before you leave.
Thank you. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Happy to help. Here's that letter you were asking about.
Peyton Ferguson, PF. To the engineers of chaos and destruction, you are working in direct opposition of the natural order of things. These so-called improvements will be the downfall to our society. If you do not cease your unholy experiments, the Redites will be forced to take action. You have been warned.
Now that's interesting. Whoever wrote this letter signed it with initials. They can't have been so stupid as to make themselves so easily identifiable, can they? Perhaps it would be a good idea to take another look at that list you got from Snelling. I wouldn't get too close to that thing.
Yeah, now it's the, are they that stupid? Or... Okay, so Paris Wilson, not him. Peyton Ferguson, yes. Yeah. I wonder if old mate can tell us any more about these guys.
No need to talk to him just now.
Okay. I think we're just going to have to guess. Which I think Peyton Ferguson is the way to go because it gave us the adventure game logic. If we didn't go and speak to the central lamp depot guy, we wouldn't have known it was the initials. So let's do it.
Well, well. Who's this lovely specimen?
Allow me to introduce Peyton Ferguson, known Redite and prime suspect in a sabotage at the Thorbomb Ironworks. I picked him up and brought him straight to you.
Ooh, a saboteur. Just leave him to me and I'll make him feel right at home.
Please find the Justice Killer soon, Miles. Being Giles' prisoner is not my idea of a good time.
Right. I'll leave you to it then.
Okay. That was different to what I thought would happen. Okay, so if that's the case...
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
I found the person responsible for sabotaging your iron mill.
Oh, yeah?
His name is Peyton Ferguson. He's currently at the Bow Street Jail.
Hey, not bad.
Yes.
He certainly does.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland?
Good worker. Mostly kept to himself. Real shame what happened to him.
Do you know if anyone here disliked Kirkland?
Enough to want him dead? Nah. There's the occasional scrap, but everyone around here gets along for the most part. Like I said, he mostly kept to himself. Head down, didn't bother nobody.
Do you know what he did outside of work?
No idea. I only ever saw him here.
The occasional scrap at the workplace. Can you imagine that if people would still fist fight at work?
Yeah. But it was like a... I know some sort of... I don't know if it was team building or something, but... I certainly worked with various sections of the office, and we had to split up into small groups. And I remember the woman there saying... I think it was talking about how everyone kind of works together at the workplace, and goes, yeah, there's no physical, we've never had a physical fight, and it's one of those things where I just sort of looked at her and it's it's a weird thing. I don't even think it was possible. It's weird. I didn't think of that possibly happening. But then you always see videos floating on the internet of someone just losing it at work and beating the crap out of someone, but so it's there's that part of my brain that's it does happen, so it could be, but I just never thought of two adults at a workplace just getting into a fisticuff.
I mean, if someone's going to have a fist fight at work, it's Artie Fine just punching the patrons.
Yeah.
Artie Fine, be honest, have you ever punched a patron?
You said Kirkland was a good worker?
One of my best. I knew something was up when he didn't show up for a couple of days. Don't think he'd ever missed work before.
Did he have any personal effects he kept here, or an area where he worked?
He had a cabinet downstairs in the workers' changing area, just like everyone else.
Ooh.
You can go take a look if you want, but I don't think the police found anything. Kirkland's cabinet is the third one from the left.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
Had to break up fights, but never between employees. Gotcha. I had a guy punch me in the face at work once.
Oh, really?
Yep.
A coworker or just...
Co-worker, yeah. He... it was years ago, like, probably 2003 or something like that. And he kept on putting it at 18 degrees, the aircon, even in winter. And it would happen over and over and over and over again. And, like, all of us were fed up. And when I came in one morning, I saw that it was on 18 and I got the remote and I just walked up to him and I said, "Can you stop like putting this at 18 degrees?" And I just tapped him with the remote on with the battery pack section. So it sounded more hollow because it hit the, the flap. And he just stood up and punched me in the face because it made a loud noise. Nothing ever happened of it though, but fucking Min, it was you. Min, yes. Min
Yeah.
AU. There you go. Third one from the left. There you go, I named names. Pop that, Min. No, you didn't get fired.
At least having a heater down here manages to keep things warm. I remember the changing
Is that
rooms at
because
the
you didn't
police
report
station
him, or
was
is it
ice
just
cold.
you reported but not fired?
I didn't report him
That-
because it was a
yeah.
piss weak punch. It was like the softest thing I've ever felt in my life. But he knew what he'd done was wrong, and from then on he shaped up, I guess. Gents, please stop shaving in the showers. The cleaning lady almost tore my head off. She says the drains can't take all the hair. Mims. Mims. And why has it got 5?
Tiger uppercut!
I didn't even know I had that. Thank you, Artie Fine. I love hearing that, though. I don't think it's ever been used before. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Let's look at the others
Just
while we...
another unmarked storage cabinet. Just 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 another unmarked storage cabinet.
All right, here goes. Oh, God.
I'm gonna brute force it.
How many things are there, Steve?
Oh, that's way too much. That's way too much. I mean, technically it's 1,000, but
I also think that there's no, like, it must do it automatically. Oh, hang on.
yeah, 'cause there's no like click in thing. Like
I
that
think
speeds up how long it takes to.
7, 5. I think that gets some of the numbers.
At least having a heater down here manages to keep things warm. I remember the changing rooms at the police station were always ice cold.
Let's try that. 7, 5, and then we'll go through. Okay, we'll change this to 7, 5. Okay. What other combinations haven't we done? 7, 5. Got it.
Empty. That's disappointing.
Not completely empty. There's something at the bottom here.
I don't know what the other number was from, though. The Gilded Lily. 12 refined ladies in waiting, all sizes, petite, skinny, and buxom. Hello. Special. Present this handbill and 50 shillings for the normal 1 crown treat. Wonder what that is. 458 Petticoat Lane, Chumley. Welcome.
It seems our friend Hannibal had a few extracurricular activities after all.
Gilded lily, huh? That's a bit suspicious.
Who knew such a pretty flower could cause such an inconvenience? The answer to that question is me, in case you were wondering. Flowers bring nothing but trouble. Trouble and snot.
That's enough, Bill. We need to get a move on.
I'm wondering what would it have been? Unless it was the third... Was it 735? Because if it was, it's probably because it's the third locker across, maybe? Alright, let's go perv in the showers.
Sounds like there's someone in there. If you weren't so bashful, I'd suggest joining in. You could certainly use it.
Oof.
He seems rather upset over the current circumstances. Probably best not to talk to him unless it's absolutely necessary.
Alright. Off to the burlesque house.
Well, hello there, handsome. Welcome to the Gilded Lily. Come over here and tell me what kind of pleasure it is you're looking for.
I'm afraid I'm here for business, not pleasure.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I'm here to
that's
investigate a
shame,
murder, and
isn't it?
I guess maybe
I'm
handy
Miles
as well.
Fordham, private investigator. And you are?
You can call me Serafina. I'm in charge of this establishment.
You won't mind if I take a look around or ask you some questions?
As long as you keep to the front room, you can do whatever you like. Beyond that, you're gonna have to pay.
Maybe it's best if you leave this part out when you tell Adelaide about the case later.
Well, she doesn't have an eye patch, Steve, so...
Oh, my virgin eyes. You certainly won't find art like that at the National Gallery. What a charming statue. Wouldn't she get cold fetching water in that state of undress? Looks nervous. Wonder if this is his first time.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Snake!
Do you by chance have a girl named Ruby in your service?
Ruby? Yes, she's one of our newest girls. She's not in any sort of trouble, is she?
Not at all. I merely wanted to speak with her.
Well, she should be in the dressing room. If you go through the rear door and follow the hallway down, it's the last door on the left.
I see. Thank you.
Nice.
But she said there's only free room.
This is a lovely establishment you have. And such a nice name, too.
Thank you, my dear. It wasn't always called the Gilded Lily, though. We were formerly known as Le Maison de Tolérance.
What inspired the name change?
Ah, that's a bit of a long story. Not worth getting into.
How long have you been operating?
Going on 25 years. Business has been good. There's a reason this is the world's oldest profession, you know.
But you don't look a day over 21. Oh, you.
Did you have a man named Hannibal Kirkland as a client?
I make it my practice not to learn the names of any customers here, Mr. Fordham. I hate to disappoint anyone who comes through those doors, but discretion is paramount in this business.
Well, at least you know you can trust these women with your secrets.
Did you know Percival McDonough?
The politician? I knew who he was, but never met him personally.
He was seeing Ruby, wasn't he?
Not regularly, no. In fact, his first and only visit with her was yesterday.
Were you aware that he was murdered shortly after that?
I had no idea. How terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. This means she's lost a potential repeat customer.
Do you know anything about the Justice Killer?
I'm afraid not, dear. I don't normally associate with killers.
Are
Normally?
you sure you don't know anything? He's the reason I'm here.
Well, I can assure you I know nothing about your murderer. If the trail has led you here, it's surely just coincidence.
Bollocks.
Yeah, she seems awfully certain of that. It's a good thing we don't believe in coincidences.
So, how did you get into this business?
Like many of the other girls, it was the best of some bad options. I had no interest in being beholden to a husband. I may be a fallen woman, but better to fly and fall than to have your wings clipped.
Do you enjoy the work?
It's a job like any other, Mr. Fordham. There are good days and there are bad days. But my girls are my family. We take care of each other. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Have you seen Deadwood, Steve?
No, I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should see it. It's really good.
I'm not too familiar with places like this, but I believe that's where the fun happens. If you've got the crowns for it.
Verdant Tree, welcome in!
Oh, hello. Did Serafina send you back here for me?
Yes, but not for the usual reasons. I'm a private investigator. My name is Miles Fordham. Ruby, I presume?
Yes, that's right. What do you need from me?
Just some information.
Well, I'll do my best.
Made from real gorilla's chest. Alright. Rubles! Rubles? There we go.
The girls here don't get much in the way of a dressing area. Still, something is better than nothing, I suppose. Lily, 1809 to 1843. I wonder what happened to her.
She's got the name of a flower. What if it's a disgruntled son that is doing all the moiters? And anyone that harms the girls here?
Yeah, maybe.
That's a nice locket for being such a cheap piece of jewelry. No lilies? Seems like a missed opportunity. Cut down in her prime. I can relate. I'm guessing this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings. Doesn't seem to offer much in the way of privacy.
Alright. Come on, Rubles, break this case
So,
open.
Ruby,
Yes?
how long have you been in this business?
Only a few months now. Used to work at a kitchen, but then they brought in some of those new automated machines.
Ah, sadly familiar story.
At least this profession isn't in any danger of being made obsolete by steam tech.
Oh, you
Cold
never know.
steel can never
Yeah.
replace a warm touch.
Let's just hope that's true.
If it's operated by steam, it'd probably be pretty warm.
She's never seen one of those machines. It's like a lathe with a thing on the end of it.
That's a rather nice
Yeah.
portrait. Who's the subject?
Oh, that's Lily. Before my time. Serafina knows loads about her. Even changed the name of this place in her honor. You might try asking her if you want to know more.
Okay, good to know.
Do you know Ennis Bowditch?
Bowditch? Didn't think I'd be hearing that name again.
As I understand it, he was seeing your friend, the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle. She broke things off with him a while ago, though.
So she said. Did you ever know him to be violent?
Violent? The bastard nearly beat Annabelle's brains in once.
Oof.
Why do you think she chucked him?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
At least she had the good sense to get rid of him.
Perhaps we should go confirm this newly discovered fact with Annabelle.
Okay.
Did you ever have a client named Hannibal Kirkland?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. Sorry.
Did you ever meet a man named Burley Cause?
No, I never met him, but one of the other girls had him as a client. I remember because she was laughing about his name. He wasn't very burly, if you get my meaning.
Right.
So you talking about a penis?
I think so. Or it could be just general physique.
Are you
But
familiar
probably
with
penis.
Reggie
The way she
Whittingham?
said it seemed like
Oh,
penis.
him? He had to be banned from here.
Oh,
Really? What happened?
He got way too rough with one of the girls. She ended up shy a few teeth.
jeez.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't too fond of boundaries. Good riddance to him, I say.
Were you aware that Mr. Willingham was murdered?
What? Oh, well, now I feel terrible for saying good riddance. I meant...
I think I know what you meant, Ruby. It's fine.
Is it me, or is there a pattern starting to emerge here?
Yep, sure is.
You met recently with Percival McDonough, is that right?
How did you know that? I thought he was meant to keep those sorts of things private.
He had your name written down in his calendar.
And you found me here based on that?
Well, I am a detective.
Suppose that's true.
Mhm.
Anyway, yes. I only met him the one time. There wasn't anything remarkable about him. After we finished, he got all emotional about his wife, but I could hardly understand what he was saying. I hate it when they cry afterwards.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
No, I don't believe so.
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 victims, mostly men from Chumley.
Oh dear, that sounds dreadful. Is that what you're investigating?
It is. Do you know anyone who might have some information about him?
I don't. Sorry I can't be more help.
I'll just leave you to it
Okay,
then.
we've got 2
Thanks, love.
leads. We're going to go talk to the maitre d' of the burlesque house, and then we're going to go talk to the coffee house lady.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Could you tell me about the young lady in the portrait hanging in the back room?
Ah, that's Lily Peterson. She was a wonderful woman and a great friend.
What happened to her?
It's a rather tragic story, Mr. Fordham. I'd rather not go into too much detail. The short version is this. She was with a client who got very carried away. She was able to defend herself enough to mortally wound the bastard, but the damage had already been done. The girls and I decided among us that we would rename this establishment in her honor. Some days it's still hard to believe she's gone. I haven't even been able to get rid of her box of things.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Serafina.
Thank you, dear. It was especially awful given Lily's past. Her sister died at the hands of her own husband some 16 years before. Some people just can't escape tragedy, no matter how far they run.
Huh. Something tells me these deaths are significant. It might be a good idea to learn as much as we can about Lily Peterson.
What if she didn't die?
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
She's got the voice of a man, though? Because
Yeah.
we've spoken to the stranger.
She had a steampunk voice box.
Oh, just like a
Steam driven voice box.
like Scream.
We've exhausted her knowledge for now, I think.
Yeah.
Looks nervous.
Where is it? Let's see.
Surprise.
So, Ruby,
Yes?
Serafina told me that Lily's possessions are still here. Do you know where they're kept?
Yeah, in that cabinet over there. Lily had a special place in Serafina's heart. I don't think she has the nerve to get rid of this stuff yet.
Do you think I could take a look through it?
Oh, I don't know.
Serafina never has to know. I promise I'll only look, not touch.
If I had a crown for every time I'd heard that.
Hello.
But, alright. As long as you keep your word and don't take anything from the box, I'll let you have a look. I'll get it for you after.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
I was gonna say before, but that thing where
There you
there was
go. All yours for the
she could hear the arguing through the wall.
Mm.
I was gonna say that was like spaced where the old lady in the tenant's like, oh yeah, I've been noticing you've been having problems. I mean, I can hear him shouting you through the walls, and then it cuts to him playing Tomb Raider, going, "Get up, you fucking bitch!"
Yeah, that's right. Ooh, what do we got here? We've got some earrings.
These don't look too valuable.
We've got an onyx ring.
A cheap ring. Must have had sentimental value because otherwise there'd be no point in keeping it. Nice scarf. Impressively clean, too. Lily clearly took care of her things. Let's see what we have in here.
Okay. February 11th, 18 blank. Dear Miss Peterson, while it is unorthodox practice for a detective to maintain contact with relatives of a victim after the case has been closed, your story has touched me on a deeper level. Please let me know if there is anything I can do to help you during this difficult time. I understand you have decided to take it upon yourself to raise your sister's son. And for that, I commend and respect your strength of will. Be the son. Again, do not hesitate to contact me if there's anything I can do to help. Detective Lester Barnett.
It's kind of sad that Lily kept that letter all these years. Guess she never really got over her sister's death. One of 3 buttons with an engraved lily on it.
Oh.
I wonder if they're just decorative or if they have some other purpose.
Okay.
I think he wanted to get in touch with her on a deeper level.
Okay, hang on.
Do you have a combination?
I don't know if it reset. If I go back in here.
I'm guessing this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Ooh.
Well now, I think we just found ourselves a bonanza.
Aunt Lily, I tried
Someone had this in their back pocket when they had the squits.
Jesus. Aunt Lily, I tried, God knows, I tried, but I couldn't let that bastard get away with his crime. I refused to watch you suffer the same fate as Mother. Justice had to be done. I've snuffed out his life just as he tried to choke yours out of your body. The blood that stains this letter is his. As I write this, you are in hospital bed unconscious. I don't know if I'll even be able to speak with you again, but I am placing this letter in your secret place in the hope that you will someday be able to read it. In the meantime, I have discovered my true calling. I must dispense justice to those who harm the innocent women. I have seen the cycle of violence go on for far too long. I have lost both my mother and my aunt to violent men, and I must stop them from happening again. I spoke with Gloria, and she told me she had been violated by one of her clients, an ironworker named Hannibal Kirkland. I will observe his habits until the time is right to strike. After he is taken care of, I will find others and do the same until this wretched city is scrubbed clean. I need to send a message. Love to you always. Wow. We know who the killer is.
Yeah, that's pretty damning. Also, we promised the girl that we would just look, not touch, and
I think she meant take shit away. Oh, but then the letter's not there.
yeah, I think we took
Oh,
that away, didn't
but
we?
it's secret. She wouldn't have known the letter's there.
Yeah.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
Oh, no, we can't do the bloody letter. We can't tell her about that. Surely. Hang
I'll
on.
just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Let's quickly save it.
So the fight is before deciding whether to stick with it.
Sorry?
See what the fallout is, if you did ask it.
Yeah.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
I found this letter inside a secret compartment in the box belonging to Lily. Do you know anything about it?
I thought we agreed you wouldn't take anything from there.
This is a special case. This letter's from Lily's nephew, the Justice Killer.
Oh, I see.
Okay, cool.
Look, I've only been here a short time. I don't know anything about Lily or any killers or anything, I swear.
You know, I think she's telling the truth.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Oh, well, that worked out okay. Okay, Lily Peterson was her name. What's the son's name? Someone Peterson. I don't think we've spoken to a Peterson yet that I know of. Is that him there? B.
Mm.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Serafina, what can you tell me about Lily's nephew?
Her nephew? I didn't know she had a nephew. Lily didn't talk much about her family, as you can probably imagine.
You're not lying to me, are you?
I have nothing to hide from you.
Except maybe the truth. But I don't think we have what we need to make her talk. If there even is anything that would make her talk.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
What about you? Are you
Looks
Peterson?
nervous. Wonder if this is his first time.
All right. We still need to talk with Coffee Lady.
Poor guy's been there for like 15 minutes without being seen to.
Yeah.
Just a jittery mess for that whole time.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I spoke with your friend Ruby. She told me something quite disturbing.
What was that?
She knocked the color out of your
Dennis
skin.
had fits of violence, and that the reason you ended your relationship was because he hit you.
Why would she tell you that? That was my secret to tell, not hers. I thought we were friends.
It's obvious she cares about you and is worried about your well-being.
Well, it hardly matters now Ennis is dead, does it?
But is it true? Did he raise his hand to you?
Yes. It is true. As I said before, something changed in him. I have no idea what, but I had to get away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. I'm sorry you had to experience what you did. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so let's think where we could go to the cop shop. But let's see if there's anyone else. Maybe we'll quickly just... He'll say, no, can't talk to
He
him.
seems rather upset over the current circumstance.
Yep, alright, sweet.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Probably best.
Okay.
No time to waste with further conversation, right?
Okay.
Leave him to his work.
Okay. This is looking good. Quickly go to Cupton's residence. She comes home and says, why is this on my door?
Hmm.
If we go to... Did that open anything? It did not.
Chief Snelling,
Yes, Fordham?
do you recall a murder involving a woman named Lily Peterson about a year ago?
Lily Peterson? Yes, that name does sound familiar. Of course, the prostitute murder. That wasn't one of yours, was it?
No, it wasn't.
One of my
Do you
prostitutes.
remember any other details?
As I recall, the woman was beaten severely by one of her clients, who escaped and was never found. She died a few days later in the hospital. How is this of any relevance, exactly?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Did you know that Lily Peterson had a sister who was killed some 16 years ago?
I didn't. Are you suggesting that's related somehow?
I think
Oh,
it is.
because
Would you be able to
they
get
have a
me the
different
case file?
name.
What was the victim's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
That might be a bit more difficult, unless you can give me more details.
I'll try my best.
Very well. What year did you say the case was from?
Oh, shit. Shit, how are we meant to know that? The newspaper had a tear. 16 years from... What year is this? We don't even know what year we're in, though. And there's no way to back out.
Okay. Do you want me to maybe magically know what the answer is?
Yeah, of course.
The walkthrough even says the case is from 1828. It's 1844, and the sister died 16 years ago.
You know, funny enough, I was going to choose the middle one. Let's do it.
It was 16 years ago, so 1828.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
It was Lester Barnett.
It was Lester Barnett.
Right. He was quite active in those days.
Hello.
And what was the victim's official cause of death?
Oh, I guess we don't know. I'm guessing it was strangulation, though.
Okay, yeah, you're correct, but also says it's because the line Seraphina said she died at the hands of her husband, which to me
That's
fully. That's not 100% concrete because you could just say, yeah, that's not necessarily mean strangulation, but I think that's, I guess, what the game logic is.
It was strangulation.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything. Yes. Here we are. This should be a match. Have a look.
Okay.
So we have our killer's last name and possible first name, assuming he's the same man Linda Walker talked about. Perhaps it's time to ask about him at the docks.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be back in a moment if you want to vamp, Steve.
Okay. Yeah, playing Vampire on stream, which has been pretty good. Between games privately, I started a game of Raft on hard difficulty, but I've gotten to the point where there's 2 sharks and they're constantly taking pieces out of my raft, and I've gotten frustrated at lack of progress from trying to fix damage from those bastards. Otherwise, hard difficulty would be actually a nice challenge if it wasn't for the fact that it increases the number of sharks as the game goes. Oh, the 2 gates? Oh, no, I gave up. I got really frustrated. I don't assume, did you tap out when I was in that quest? Or, because if it was after, then yeah, I didn't go back to it yet. I think I want to level a bit more. Last run I did was pretty good. I used all specs to figure out which zombies were the gate attackers and which ones weren't, which made it hard because without doing crowd, it means I could be faster because I'm not doing crowd control. Without crowd control, it means the zombies started piling up, which even though they weren't that much of a threat, sometimes they grab you and it goes into the biting animation, which just wastes time. But yeah, I was running back and forth between the 2 gates, and they finally broke one, and I just got really frustrated and went, fuck this. Yeah, he gives you a shotgun even, so that suggests that you're supposed to, but then shotgun doesn't work. And from walkthroughs I've looked up, it's like no one uses the firearms. I know there was a guy that did join, and he said that one of his runs, he got into a position where he could see both gates and just constantly shot it. See both gates and the zombie's going to get to him. I think he glitched into that area though. I don't know if it's doable on purpose, but yeah, he could see both gates and he just shot at whatever zombies were at each gate.
Told you I hated that section. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Alrighty. New Britannia Police Department, Worcester, England, Kingsland, March 30th.
Yeah, the guy joined later because I was going for a section and he goes, "Oh, it's everyone's favorite part," and I've gone, "Yeah, it's not as bad as we've just gone through probably the worst part, which is the cemetery thing." And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's terrible," but yeah, after that, there's a section that I have vague memories of. I thought it'd be much later in the game, but yeah, fuck me, it's bad. Like it's difficult in a way that it's like it's a sort of section that just keeps going and going and going. Every time you think, okay, I've done all the puzzling and the fighting, it just has a whole new section. And there's nothing but the occasional rats, but otherwise there's nothing to feed on. So, yeah, you're just constantly low on blood. That's really hard.
Okay. Victims' names: Liam Collins, Daisy Collins. Victims' names: 37, 34. Gunshot, self-inflicted, and strangulation. Okay. So Daisy Collins is potentially the real name.
Yeah.
Oh, which is also a flower. Okay. Report. Police were notified after the neighbor heard shouting and general commotion from the Collins apartment. Upon arrival, they found Daisy Collins in the living room with clear signs of strangulation. In the bedroom, they found Liam Collins, the apparent victim of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Searching the rest of the apartment, officers found a young child, approximately 4. So if that was 15 years ago, this person's 19, hiding in the closet. The child did not respond to questions and was visibly upset. Detective Lester Barnett conducted an investigation and determined that Liam Collins was attacked his wife, likely under the influence of alcohol, and accidentally caused her death. Upon realizing what he'd done, he used his own pistol to take his life. The child has been taken into police custody and is awaiting transfer to an orphanage if no next of kin is located.
I guess it makes sense because it's their first name, so the parents just named them after flowers. It's like in Keeping Up Appearances.
No need to talk to him just now. Thank God.
Oh, now we have the information to speak to the burlesque lady. Because we know the real names.
We've exhausted her knowledge.
You
now,
are?
I think.
Hang on. Okay, find the Justice Killer. Use the pencil to... We already did this. Verify if Samuel Collins works at the docks. Samuel Collins. How did we get the name Samuel? I don't know.
The walkthrough says... No, you know from the files, the last name of the Justice Killer.
Yep.
And from Linda Walker's trial, his first name. Which I remember that.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yep, totally.
Blank surfaces don't stay that way for very long around here. Blank surfaces don't...
Oof, that's a good sound.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
Hello.
It looks like Dick Van
Familiar with
Dyke.
the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a
maybe
headline
not.
in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but
Something
I
like
dismissed
that,
it as fear-mongering nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
But the Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
Oh.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking and cataloging all the cargo that passes through here. I receive the shipping manifests and make sure that things get unloaded and sent to the right places.
And you do all this by yourself?
Oh, of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Do you know a man named Samuel Collins?
Yes, I do. He's one of my workers.
Is he working today?
No, it's his day off. Why do you ask?
I'm very interested in speaking with him. Could you tell me where I can find him?
I don't just give out information on my men to strangers. What reason do you have for wanting to speak with him?
I believe he may be involved in some serious crimes.
Is that right? And what are these serious crimes, exactly?
Ooh, this is tricky. What if he is Samuel Collins, and I say he's the Justice Killer, and he goes, "You'll never take me alive," and a rope will come down, hanging from like a hot air balloon, and then he'll fly off, and then we lose. What do you think, Steve? Do we tell the truth?
If we don't know, it's definitely not him. Then it'll have to be one of the other two, I think. And it's could be a way for the game to test us.
Maybe
it's like, will they think of that, or will they? If they just immediately that Justice Guild will lock him out.
Hmm. Do you feel any in your loins more than the other?
Something that the walkthrough does mention which one to pick, but it doesn't have the "do not tell him" blah, which it usually does when you have lockout.
I'm trying to think of which he would be more offended about out of these two. Stealing from him, he's the administrator, he's not the owner of the business. Stole from the customers, now that's a little bit more extreme. I'm thinking that one.
Yeah, that one, basically.
I believe he stole from one of your customers.
What? From who?
The Hanbrook Flower Shop. He stole several orders of Easter lilies.
Well, that's true, kind
The
of.
Hanbrook
Yeah,
Flower
second
Shop?
trip.
They're not one of my customers. I only sell to wholesalers.
A minor detail. The point remains that your man's a burglar.
That's quite a serious claim. What proof do you have?
You can hear it straight from the man who works at the shop that was burgled.
Well, where is he then?
Wait here just a moment.
Okay, cool.
Excuse me, Mr. Hastings?
Why, Detective?
Oh, yeah.
Fancy
Hello.
seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
I was wondering if you might help me with something. Could you please tell the shipping manager over there about the burglaries at your flower shop?
Certainly.
Go ahead, Mr. Hastings.
Right. It all started around 5 months ago. And he didn't come around again after that night.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. That'll do. Now are you convinced?
Fine. I hate to lose 2 of my men in such a short amount of time. But if he's done wrong, I can't just stand by. Samuel lives in Chumley, at 210 Abattoir Row.
Oh, that's
Thank
fitting.
you, sir. You may have just saved several lives.
But I'm going to have to spend several crowns in order to get things back to normal. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Oh. Suspect added. Let's give it a good saveroo. Oh. Confronted the justice killer in his own home achievement.
Samuel Collins?
Yes?
I'm Terrence Shackley from the Labor Department. I wanted to ask you some questions about your employer at the docks.
Oh, of course. Please come in.
He knows who we are. We've met him twice.
I'm sorry. What did you say your name was?
Terrence Shackley? But it's not my real name. I just used it to get into your apartment. I believe you did something similar at the Houses of Parliament with Mr. McDonough.
So, you're Fordham, the one who was snooping around at the Gilded Lily.
Indeed. We meet again, Mr. Collins.
Of course. The rooftop. I'm sorry about what happened to your partner. It wasn't my intent for him to die.
Oh, he's sorry, is he? Is that supposed to make things better?
I suppose this encounter was inevitable. But I admit I didn't think it would be this soon. So, you're here to arrest me.
Oh, hello. I can't arrest. I'm a detective.
Assumptions are like souffles. Making them seems like a good idea, but they soon prove to be more trouble than they're worth.
Not to mention they're puffed up with air and deflate when you poke them. So you're not planning to arrest me? That makes sense.
Arresting you wouldn't be proper justice. You've taken so many lives.
Oh, please. Every one of those men deserved what they got.
Why do you say that? None of those men killed anyone.
No. What they did was far worse. Inexcusable. Unforgivable. I had to make sure justice was done.
Yeah, what with the partner?
Whether the people you killed deserved it or not isn't really
Or
my
it's gonna be
concern. I'm
months
here
of
on
shut
behalf
in.
of my partner.
I understand. You want closure, same as I do. But if you kill me, how does that make you any better? You'd not only be a murderer, but also responsible for allowing the cycle of violence to continue.
There are other ways of upholding justice, Collins. Ways that don't involve mass murder.
The system is broken. Criminals get away all the time. You know that. Only too well. All I ask is that you allow me to continue my work in peace.
You asked me to look the other way once before, and I refused.
Yes, and it cost your partner's life.
Well, this time it's just you and me, and I'm still not going to let you off. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to just let you keep killing.
Damn right, Miles. This has to end. Then you leave me no choice.
Oh!
Fordham, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank God you're a better shot than I was.
So, this is our justice killer?
That's right.
I suppose congratulations are in order.
Fatality.
Finding him.
Exactly,
Thank you, Chief
Thomas.
Snelling. I'm glad we were finally able to work together.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you weren't so brash as to confront him without notifying me first. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. Now then, I'll go get the other officers so we can lock down the scene and remove the body. Wait here.
I'm not really dead.
Quite a night, eh, Bill?
I'm just pretending.
Bill? Are you there? Bill?
Wow.
The partner got shot again.
2 weeks later. Bolzer.
It's good of you to do this, Miles. Do you need some time alone?
If you wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll wait for you over by the sycamores.
So, it's finally over. I have to admit, it's been strange not hearing you all the time anymore. Never in a million years did I think I would actually miss it. But the important thing is you've moved on, and I got what I was looking for. I'm starting up my own private detective agency, you know. Addie and Upton are going to be my partners. It should be interesting, to say the least. Oh, that reminds me. I brought you a little...
It is.
Yeah.
It's not much, but I thought you might appreciate it. Thank you.
That's
for all
way
your
too
help,
thick.
Bill.
That's what
Truly
she
would've
said.
been lost without it.
All right. Goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye, old friend. I love you.
Enlightened. Completed the game. Look at that. 15 minutes. It only took 15 minutes. Yay.
Oh, a little bit of a church choir with the end credits.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Tongs is very good with his timings. Mark Venus. Oh, more Mark Venus.
Has a huge head.
Yeah. Timey Tongs, yeah. Oh, Bill and Samuel were the same person. Oh, Andy did some work.
Yeah.
As did Myron. And Ivy. And Joe. Hopefully they get the salary for 4 people.
I have a feeling they don't. That is probably per hour, so it is probably technically more overall.
All right. Well, there we have it. Let me quit this game. What do you think, Steve? What would you give it out of 10, would you say?
And it's hard because it's like it's inconsistent where there's certain elements that really would drag the score down if I tried to bring it together into one score.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I'd say it's average. That's probably mean to it, but like,
So average with being 5.
yeah, I guess it's like because it wasn't bad, but then the graphics were disappointing. The lockout system, it's one of those ones that looks good on paper, but could go either way, and it went the bad way of the way it does lockout. It's like it's sort of not red flag, but it could go either way with the in terms of quality when they go, oh, the storyline's dynamic and you can file a case and it's okay, and it's like, okay, then you can fuck up for the writing has to be really good where you have to feel like you fucked up when you get locked out or do something bad. But yeah,
I
I don't know. The story was good. The cases were good. Like that's the disappointing thing is the execution sort of let down what was a good concept and good writing.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'd give it a little bit higher. I would say a nice 7. The highs were high, but the lows were really low. Like that first case needed some sort of tutorial, a little bit of hand holding, just so you knew what you were doing. After
It's also weird.
that,
Like that needs to be the complicated case like that need to be later. Like because I thought, oh shit, they're all going to be like this, but then the other ones weren't as complicated. They were pretty straightforward. So it's
yeah,
weird that the first case was the bull busting, multiple suspects, and you got to go through them like the layers of an onion, and yeah.
totally. So I'm actually curious. Do you know who was the bad guy in the first case that we failed?
It's something like Spring Hill Jack or something like that.
Spring Hill Jack?
I think it had another name, but like.
I would hope so, because that's like a boogie monster or something.
Hang on.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, I think like the portraiture, I didn't mind too much. It was like it's not the best art style for sure for the portraits, but it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you. But I find that the lockout system needed almost like a warning or something like that, or not to say this will lock you out, but at least give you another chance to back out through dialogue, something a little bit more descriptive to say, hey, this might fuck up your case in a sense. Or at least don't do them at the very beginning of the case, because I mean, we're literally 2 minutes into a case and we said one thing and it would be impossible to solve otherwise. But yeah, I like the idea that there was no inventory, that you would just use items as it saw fit. I think it could have used more mini games. If you remember in the sort of the prologue, there was a little mini game where we could get a fish hook to open up a window. That was really cool. So maybe some lock picking mini games or something like that would have been good. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mind it.
Actually, I thought it was maybe there was another case. This one, it says his name Guy, but it's Guy with a capital G, so that's his name.
Yeah.
And there's a hotel I don't think we went to at all. Like that's the thing that got locked away.
Oh right. Okay. So we didn't even
Did you get to the hunting lodge?
Yeah, we went to the hunting lodge. That's where the stepfather lived.
Yeah. Go to this thing to get a close up, look at the paper and click on it.
Oh.
Use tweezers and click and drag out the paper.
Guy was the brother. I
Okay.
remember. Yeah, he was the guy that had the drug. Because we never actually used the drug kit either. I don't think. Like he had like a lab, a testing lab in his bedroom. So you're saying that Guy was the actual bad guy?
Yeah. At one
Okay.
stage, you have to talk to the parrot with a specific phrase.
Yep.
The harpsichord that does say you have to play a certain note thing. And right after that is when you go to the hotel, talk to Guy, and it wraps up.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think Guy was a suspect, but he was. We did meet him. There you go.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, sorry, the Rakton Tongles thing. The lookout, then I guess I see the problem because the problem is most of the murder mysteries ones it feels kind of artificial when it keeps you just able to just solve it regardless. Like, but then the opposite is then more problematic of being locked out or having other issues, design issues. But when something's stalled and until you progress, like it also feels artificial.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's better than the alternative unless you can design something better. But yeah, the design and then but the art was kind of a real bummer in it.
Yeah.
Like
Alrighty.
the perspective stuff really, like even in that science room, that door being too low, then the characters being low, which didn't make sense. Yeah, this whole thing didn't make sense spatially.
Yeah, the perspective thing was actually a big issue for me. Actually, for the art, that was a strange one. Rams is smooching the keyboard, so who knows what she'll type. In fact, let's see what she's typed. There you go. That's from Ram's chat. That's all for you. Alrighty, well, we'll do Grim Fandango next. That sounds amazing. Let's load you guys into the raid cannon and fire you off into the ether. Ram, stop smooching for a second. I need to write actual things. Yeah, I can't see. Keith Squared is on. Friend of the channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
that's some nice trucker content.
Ramen click for you guys. There you go. Awesome. All right, locking you guys into Keith Squared. As always, make sure you do something glorious for yourself. Get yourself some pizza or some tacos. If you can get a fish taco, that would be a great way to enjoy the weekend. Or
And
even
they call me fifth bag.
No, fish tacos are the best kind of tacos. They're amazing. Or just get yourself a nice, big, delicious coffee, a good coffee. But either way, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see
if you go to the Gilded Lily, they've got fish tacos on special.
Listen to this filth bag down here. Where is he? Down there.